Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the patrons. Make sure to subscribe and let's get into it, guys. So today I wanted to talk about the F-14A, but not the early model, the late model. Where is the late model of the F-14A? And why isn't it here? I mean, it kind of makes sense, to be honest, but let's just get into it. So what it would be an F-14A at first, a late model, okay? Well, as you know, the F-14A that we have in the game entered in service in what, 1974, 1975, more or less, right? With the weapons that he had, or that he would have in the game right now. So AIM-7F, AIM-9H, and of course the AIM-54A. During the 80s, the majority of the F-14As were started to get upgraded so that they can actually maintain their combat efficiency on the highest levels, of course. And obviously, with new F-14As before what it was, 1986, 87, when the B version came out. So imagine, I mean, 1986 is a year that it's pretty late in the Cold War, right? So it's, I mean, during the 80s or late 70s and 80s, they were developing better missiles. AIM-7Ms, AIM-9Ls, the AIM-54C. And of course, it's not only the F-14B that got those missiles. It's the A as well, with the later models of the F-14A, right? And of course some little improvements that they were noticing that would improve the combat of the aircraft, right? So how it would be? Well, the first thing in the weapon systems, the radar would be basically the same, but the weapon systems would be a little bit different. Carrying, of course, in the early 80s, the AIM-7M, the AIM-9M even, and later the AIM-54C, right? So we can already have a F-14A late that could have these missiles. Maybe not the AIM-9M, just because not even the F-14B has it, and it's probably one of the reasons why it is still a 12.0 aircraft. In the future, we might see it receiving it and getting a 12.3 BR. To be honest, that would make a lot of sense, especially if they add the F-14A late with the AIM-9L in between the early F-14A and the F-14B, right? With the F-14D maybe being added later with the AIM-9M as well. So how my idea would be like, it would be like an F-14A early, like it is right now at 11.7 with the AIM-9H, AIM-7F, and the AIM-54A, with the F-14A late being at 12.0, with the AIM-9L, the AIM-7M, and of course the AIM-54C, but being an F-14A, right? So the engine, everything like that, being basically the same. And then the F-14B maybe receiving the AIM-9M and getting to 12.3, or maintaining at 12.0 with the AIM-9L, and then the F-14D with all of these missiles and the better radar and everything, maybe AIM-120s being in the top tier kind of rank, right? So maybe 12.7 or higher if they actually add a new BR, like a 13.0 or something, right? That would be the idea. But what are other changes that the late version of the F-14A could actually receive? Well, the first one would be the TCS, right? Is it called the TCS? Well, the camera that the F-14B has it. Does it change much or anything like that? No, probably not, but it would also help, especially in simulator battles, you know, identifying some targets and stuff. That could be cool. And of course, if I'm not mistaken, they removed the little winglets that open up when you are flying very, very fast as well. If I'm not mistaken, some of the later models actually got that removed as well, right? On the air-to-ground capabilities, it depends on what Gaijin wants. If I'm not mistaken, I would have to research, but as far as I know, didn't add any type of air-to-ground capability as far as I know, and guided stuff. As far as I know, I might be wrong, but still. And of course, there's even some variants, depending on what variant they want to add it, could actually have even an RST, right? So it would be in between the F-14A and the B, right? With the same performance in flight, but with the more modern weapons of the B, right? That would be very, very cool, isn't it? And of course, the B would still have the step up, especially in power and in thrust, right? And of course, the air-to-ground capabilities, as far as I know, as I said. But why isn't it here? Well, the main thing is that it's not really necessary, right? I mean, the changes would be too small to actually do anything. I think, honestly, it's more of a interesting aircraft for people that really love the Tomcat than anything else. To be honest, if they add this thing as a Tech 3 vehicle, it would probably be a Tech 3 vehicle that would be folded with the F-14A early, and it would probably never be touched unless the guy really, really loves the aircraft. And I mean, people like me, for example, I have played this game for a very long time, and I have almost every aircraft in the game, so I'm always eager to fly something that it's a little bit different from what I already have and know. So interesting little models with different little things, I'm always loving that thing. That's why I always wanted stuff like early models or different models of the MiG-23 from what we already have in the game could be added, like the MS, for example. It would be a very bad plane, but depending on the BR that it was, it is an interesting option for some BR gaps that we have, right? So it's the same with this. It's not even a BR gap that needs filling or anything like that, but to be honest, it is an aircraft that I don't think a lot of people would even like to fly. Although very interesting, I doubt that even Gaijin would add this thing anytime soon, unless they start to get to a position where maybe nothing can be added right now, for example, for the US, and then they, let's do this because it's a very easy modification to do it, and I know a lot of people that love the Tomcat would love to see it, right? That's pretty much what it would be, right? So I really doubt it. Maybe as an event vehicle in the future, it wouldn't be a top tier aircraft. It would be around the same BR as the F-20, right? As a premium. So for sure, if premiums can be a 12.0 aircraft, for sure it can be an event vehicle as well, right? So yeah, kind of sad, but at the same time it kind of makes sense. We don't need people having to grind stuff that they don't really want to fly, right? So although a lot of people would love this, it's more akin to the fans of the Tomcat, isn't it? So yeah, guys, leave it in the comments. Why do you think the F-14A late is coming or not coming, or when is it coming? Is it coming? So let me know in the comments. And yeah, I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, and bye.